Hey, what's good, everyone? This is Hitmon Mike. Welcome back to the channel. I feel like I've kind of lagged it with content this past week. So, posted my last video last Friday. Gonna post this one. I'm actually recording on Friday. Should be done by tonight. So you'll be seeing this Friday night at latest Saturday morning. But what is good, everyone? So I just wanted to kind of touch base with you all on what's going on with the current English market. I see a lot of people online just, they're devastated. And I think rightfully so. There's just so much mayhem. And again, it's, I don't want to sound like, oh my God, here's Mike coming to lecture everyone about it's going to be okay in the end. And it will. But in the meantime, it is going to be tough. It's painful. I totally get it. I understand where you guys are coming from. However, I have somewhat of a solution. Actually, the overall top solution that can be done is that Pokemon just prints even more. But I have my doubts that they're able to print more than they can, considering they have their own printing facility. Was it Millennium Print Group? Um, it would be silly to think that they're not already printing, at max capacity. They're interested in making money as well, guys. So with that said, the scalping issue, definitely an issue. It's really scummy to see, especially the people that are like loitering around the whatchamacallit, the vending machines. It's like, come on, guys, let's get it together. And online with the Pokemon Center releases, just pretty crazy how they still can't fix the issue with bots. I've seen, screenshots of accounts getting like more than 30, which when the limit was like 1 for the Prismatic Evolutions Super Premium Collection. I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry. Anyways, guys, so we all know that Pokemon printing more would solve a lot of those issues, right? So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and present to you a few options of cards from slightly older eras, and let me know what you think. I think these are cards that are worth what they're going for market price on TCG Player. I also want to, before I get into all the specifics of the video, this is not financial advice. I can be totally wrong. This is just my opinion and just based on my experience so far, where I've seen cards go up in value and then kind of stay there, or they level out, or they come back down just a little bit, but settle at a new floor that's higher than the previous high, if that makes sense. So sit back, enjoy, and we'll get to the next part of the video shortly. All right, guys. So let's get to the second part of the video. So again, like I said, uh, this is not financial advice. You are most likely a grown adult, so you make your decisions on what you feel comfortable with your money. All right, guys. So just in case you're not aware of this, especially if you're a new collector, I had mentioned in my very first video to check out Pokelector, so you can check out all of these cool sets I have in the Japanese section. Let's move it to English. And so, just quickly, we're wrapping up the Scarlet and Violet era. I think it's going to be in a couple sets, Destined Rivals, and I think we're supposed to get the Black and White era or Black and White themed set to cap off Scarlet and Violet, and then we go into the mega sets. So we'll finish this a little sooner rather than later. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna come back to Poke Collector, and I want to go and show off a few cards from the past few eras. So the Sword and Shield era, we have Sun and Moon, and XY. So I believe I have 8 cards loaded up, and I'm gonna explain why I feel like this is a good alternative rather than buying cards that are, like, in my opinion, super inflated due to recent hype, given that they're so, brand new to Pokemon. So let's go ahead and go with the first one. So I know what you're thinking. Mewtwo V, it's been going up a lot. So just FYI, even if you see this price here, this is only the listing that is from the TCG Player Direct. So it's kind of like they're showing that to you first. However, you just got to do a little digging. Make sure you click on near mint to set it on near mint. I don't know why TCG Player changed it to where when you go on to a page, it has a lightly played setting turned on, and a lot of people get confused. But anyway, so near mint Mewtwo V. This is from the Pokemon Go set, which came out in the summer of 2022. Oh my God, it feels like this came out yesterday. And it's, if you look at the chart, you see this like big old spike up here, right? So normally, we don't really like to buy cards that are like on this like way up like this, but obviously you can see that it's gone down a little bit in recent weeks. Actually, it looks like. So current price. So this is the market price of $41.30. And as you can see, we have plenty of listings here. The only bad thing about TCG Player is that you can't really see the pictures. Well, sellers are not required to add pictures, but um, more than likely, guys, if you're buying near mint off TCG Player without seeing pictures, expect maybe some whitening, maybe off center, because technically it still falls within that range of the near mint condition. But anyways, guys, so this card was so cheap. Last year, it was like sub $20. And even during the little alternate art boom, it crept up to maybe 30. But obviously, with the current boom, this blew past that and got as high as $55, right? So now that it's going back down to 40, it's possible it keeps going down, but with these things, you never know. This card, it's almost going to be, well, it's 2.5 years old, basically. This is a very popular Pokemon. Even if it goes down a little bit, I wouldn't feel like remorseful buying this. I do have a copy of this. I'm not trying to pump it up to sell it. Don't worry, guys. This is just me talking about cards I like. But I think out of all the cards that are going up, which seemingly is the case with all of English, I think this Mewtwo V is a pretty safe buy. I don't see it dropping much lower. And like I said earlier in the video, even though it's going to be dropping pretty soon, I would imagine it's going to like level out around 30, which is going to be higher than what it's been. I think while like when it first came out, it was like $70, but now it's come back down. So honestly, I would recommend this card. Again, do what you will. This is not necessarily investing advice, but this is a tier one Pokemon in my opinion. Mewtwo, super popular with an alternate art. Not the most popular set Pokemon Go. I like it, but I think for $40, it's still a buy for Mewtwo V. All right, next card I want to focus on is the Arceus V alternate art. So it is a little bit expensive, but we have basically the god of Pokemon, right? So Arceus. Am I supposed to say Arceus or Arceus? I'm not sure. I always go with Arceus. Anyways, this card has gone through some ups and downs. It was really cheap for a while, sub 30, as you can see last year in March. But, fast forward a year later in March, and it's near $50. But I think after this boom, once it's all said and done, it's going to be a little over $40. Like I said, with English right now, it's kind of like a lose-lose situation. You're buying everything you buy is at an inflated price. However, I think these are a little safer from experiencing like hard crashes, in my opinion. So super dope card. I love it. I know in TCG Pocket, it's been really, really well. Not this card specifically, but Arceus, the EX has been pretty competitive for me. So I have a little bit of affinity for Arceus. And then this card is just like top tier gorgeous. Actually, I'm looking for this in Japanese. So if anyone has it, hit me up. I am a buyer for that card. So, anyways, let me give you one more card from the Sword and Shield era, and that is the Unknown V. And so we all love alternate arts. And look at this. This is presumably from the ruins of Alph, if you know from Johto, where you encounter unknowns. And this is such a sick artwork. I really like it. And it's still super affordable, guys. It's $20. I mean, for an alternate art for a Gen 2 Pokemon, like I know it's not like in the upper echelon of like popular Pokemon, especially from Gen 2, because there's so many. Um, Still, I think it's a buy at $20. Let me see. And it hasn't really gone through a huge boom, even during this, period of time. It actually was more expensive last May when we had that alternate art, mini boom in during that time, which is really interesting that it hasn't caught up since then. So this is definitely a buy for me. I'm actually going to probably pick one of these up, in English and in Japanese. And yeah, so we're gonna move on to the Sun and Moon era. And from what I've seen, guys, the Sun and Moon era has been hit hard with like price increases. But hear me out, guys. I know Rainbow Rares aren't super popular; they're not in vogue anymore. But at one time, these were the top chase cards, especially the Sun and Moon. Even though we had alternate arts, which was really interesting at the time, they didn't quite hit as like they do now. There was that paradigm shift, in my opinion, once Battle Styles reintroduced them, and that's when we started to see like the reign of the alternate art illustration rare. But Mimikyu, super popular Pokemon. This is extremely hard to pull, guys. Rainbow rares, there was like a ton, like no, not a ton. Some sets had more than others, but there was a lot of rainbow rares, packed into each set. And as we can see currently with Prismatic Evolutions, right? There's a ton of secret rares, and it's hard to pull a specific one. So it makes it really hard to pull the one you want. So with this Mimikyu, obviously this is not 112 market price. This is just a listing, but market price here is at $72 and 60 cents. And so I peeked at eBay. I was able to find a handful of them around that price, but just looking at TCG Player, I also wanted to show this. So there are some times where you'll see a card where it's market price and all the near mint listings are way above that. That happens sometimes, especially with slightly older cards like this one. This came out in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. But if TCG Player is not the only place to source these cards, you can also look at eBay. eBay will more than likely have more listings for close to that market price. And then if there isn't, then you can tell that this price is inaccurate. But there is. So, in my opinion, rainbow cards are still beautiful. I remember buying this around $65, $70 a few years ago, and I graded it and flipped it, and it's still this price. And so I think this is a good opportunity to buy. I could see this going up in the future. Not a guarantee, obviously, but I mean, Mimikyu is awesome. What's not to like about Mimikyu? And it's extremely hard to pull. Next up, we have the Gardevoir. All right, so we love the Gardevoir, well, the shiny Gardevoir in Paldea Evolved, and not Paldea Evolved. We what's that shiny set? Oh, Paldean Fates. Sorry, I'm gonna have to edit that out, guys. I'm so sorry. Anyways, we love that card from there, and I was thinking Shiny Treasure too. Anyways, so we have the Gardevoir GX, and this, it's gone up. It has spiked, but I feel like with this card, it makes more sense. Because this set came out in 2019, extremely popular Pokemon. We all love shinies, and I mean, not most cards are not safe from the English boom. Like I said, it's a kind of a lose-lose situation buying anything English right now. But beautiful card. It's a shiny. What more can you ask for? And I feel like it'll probably come back down to around here, like about $25. But who knows? I think this is a buy still, even if it's the arrows pointing up on this card. Another card. Let's jump into the X. Oh, actually, one more Sun and Moon, and then we have one XY era card. Uh, we all love Greninja, in Japanese, Crimson Haze. We've got Twilight Masquerade. There's so many good cards of it. And market price for this is $55, guys. What are we doing? What is going on? So, even on TCG Player, we have some listings here. I think on eBay, you'll see some around that price as well. I mean, like I said, Greninja I think it's an elite tier Pokemon, very popular. I think a lot of people reference that survey that was given out in Japan. I think the majority of kids love Greninja, like that's their favorite Pokemon. Uh, I'm a huge fan of Greninja. Gonna sound like, like a know-it-all, but I was picking up Greninjas before it was cool. Well, I guess it was always cool. But anyways, yeah, I've bought this a few times to grade and flip. It's been very successful for me. And I don't know, I think I have a pretty good eye with Sun and Moon cards. With that border, I can tell when I can get a 10. But that's besides the fact. Yeah, awesome Pokemon, super hard to pull. I mean, hasn't been affected too much by the boom. I think this is a buy. And going on to the XY era, this era was like, man, I checked prices for a bunch of different sets, and it's pretty crazy. Like a lot of cards have just like spiked up so much in recent months. And this card in particular, we have a market price of 38.22 for the Espeon EX. Looks like it's going to be going up. Um, but I mean, guys, this set came out what in 2015? No, 2016. Yeah, so early 2016. It's almost 10 years old, guys. Well, it's almost 9 years old. And this is an evolution. It's a full art. I know they don't have a ton of alt arts in the Expo era, but this is like as big of a chase as you could get. Even at $50, I think this is a buy. So instead of buying $50 regular illustration rares from Scarlet and Violet era, I wouldn't mind shelling out $50 for an Espeon EX4. But that's just me. And then lastly, going back to Pokelector, I really want to show you guys. And I know we're focused on English today, but this is going to segue to another video that I'm going to do about Japanese cards and why you should consider collecting them. So let me go ahead and scroll down to this specific set, which shamefully we didn't get in English. Although there are a few of these cards in English, and they're actually extremely rare. And you'll see what I'm talking about here as I scroll down, and I'm talking about none other than the Versus series. And so just a little heads up on that. Basically, it is a Gen 2 Gym Heroes Gym Challenge style set. So we have the trainer cards along with their Pokemon. It is important to note, though, that not all of them are super accurate. Like, we didn't see Farfetch'd in Faulkner's gym, unless something changed, then I just missed it, but I doubt it. I don't think he had Dodrio either. But like I'm saying, it's pretty cool too how they ordered the set where it goes through the basically through the gym leaders like you would in order if you were playing Pokemon Gold, Silver, or Crystal. Yeah, and then such cool cards. They're amazing, and surprisingly, I would say the vast majority of them are super affordable still. I want these to load. So you got variety like Claire's Dragonite, we have Sabrina's Espeon, Blaine's Typhlosion. Are you kidding me? These are awesome cards. Let me let these load. Let's see here. Let me click out of that advertisement. We got the Yukamori fighting types for Bruno's cards. Yeah, so it also progresses through the Elite Four as well. And then we have Rocket cards, and then we have Champion Lance, which is pretty cool. Gives me Where the Wild Things vibes, so to speak. So that's pretty cool. And then we have some random TM trainer cards. Uh, yeah, so let me show you guys. I just typed in real quick on eBay uh, versus Japanese Pokemon First Edition. And you have to like kind of sift through all these listings. You know, more than likely it's going to be tough to find like truly mint raw. But if you're not a condition snob like me, you're gonna have a field day with this set. So I encourage you guys to explore these cards. And like I said, it's gonna segue into the video that I'm gonna make soon about why you should consider collecting Japanese and why your wallet will also thank you. And actually why there is gonna be some surprise value by doing so. But I'm an English fan too, but I personally collect more Japanese. But yeah, great stuff over here. So let me go back to Poke Collector. And yeah, guys, hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, not financial advice. You got to do what you feel comfortable with. But consider what I said about each card. Like I said, English is kind of right now everything's pretty inflated because of the boom. But I feel like the cards that I mentioned are pretty safe from experiencing like hard crashes because inevitably we will at some point. Can't keep going up forever. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will get the next video out soon, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.